Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Friday morning perk. Today is February 12th, and I'm very happy to see everybody here. It's a great way to start our Friday and end our work week and kick off our weekend.
Let's start off the meeting.
Yes, Al, please start the meeting.
Hey, welcome. Have your coffee? Stay seated.
Awesome. So today, I'd like to introduce, as I mentioned earlier, for those of you that were here, LeeAnn Voss from Huntington Learning Center in Manalapan is our presenter today, and let's make her feel right at home. This is her first time joining us in a chamber meeting. So let me just, I'm gonna share my, yay, silent clap. And LeeAnn, I'm just going to pull up the screen to share the slide that you gave me. So
perfect, thank you.
This way we can see. We're going to start with this, and there's stuff in my way. But all right, there's stuff in my way. So this is her slide. Okay, so you can get started.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Again, my name's LeeAnn. Thank you for having me. As I had shared with everyone, I live in Ocean County, so that's where I originally had my experience with the chamber, and I just took over the Manalapan Hunting Learning Center, as well as East Brunswick and Bridgewater. June, I'll say, is when I came to work for this owner. Absolutely love working for him and his 3 centers. So I'm a retired principal, retired teacher, so I'm still helping children. And in these crazy times, that's why I thought coming to you guys for my first meeting or morning breakfast. We host a series of webinars during these difficult times. So there's a variety of topics, anything from SAT versus ACT. Should my child still take the test? What do you need? Because there's a lot of misinformation out there. Helping kids with ADHD, transitions, or it could be a middle school to a high school transition. Honestly, we're finding the data with the COVID, they're actually calling it the COVID slide. If you haven't heard that on the news or seen it, the data that they're collecting in our area here is that most students that have been learning remotely or hybrid that haven't physically been in school for almost over a year now, they're losing about 2 years in math, and they're losing about a year in their reading or their ELA, reading comprehension. It's very sad to see, because what we're seeing personally is anybody that was kindergarten through 3rd, even if they were knowing the alphabet and writing the alphabet during these times, they've slid backwards and they don't even remember the letters of the alphabet. The other biggest group we see hit is anybody that was going from like 3rd to 4th grade, because 4th grade is really your first independent year. And those kids cannot work independently. The parents literally have to sit with them all day, every day. I mean, we're crazy to think that little ones can sit in front of this computer for 6 hours a day without having guidance or redirection. And then the other group that we've seen that it really hit was freshmen in high school. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of depression. A lot of these kids were brand new to a school, and now they don't know anybody. They don't know their counselor. They don't know their teachers. So on top of their academic sliding, it's really socially and emotionally hurting that group the most. These are sad times. So like I said, we host these webinars, and then we do a Q&A at the end. So basically, like I said, I just wanted to share the data with you guys right now with like the remote learning. So as I said, they're definitely sliding backwards. So some of the things that you would gain out of our webinar, which we're going to share with you guys, links to all these webinars, so you can feel free to go back and view them at your leisure, because they're about 60 minutes each. So I will send that out. But right now, if your child, grandchild, whoever you might be helping at home, the best tips that we can give right now is that you have to keep them in a structured day. So we're finding that they're not keeping to a routine or a schedule. So even though they're starting their class at 11 a.m., some of them, they still need to be getting up, eating a good breakfast, and getting ready for school. Isolating a select area in the house. That's the other thing. Mom and dad are home virtually learning. Siblings are home virtually learning. There's a lot of chaos going on. So they need a designated study area with noise canceling headphones so they can interact with the teachers and understand what's going on. We're suggesting that before they start their day, They have all their supplies that they need, just like if they were going to school with their backpack, bring everything to the room. So otherwise they're saying, I have to go get this, I have to go get that. We've experienced children, getting up for something and coming back 20 minutes later. We can't reach through that Zoom screen and get them back. So we'll call the parents, we'll do something. But again, sometimes the parents are at work, so everything is left on the child. So really have all your supplies and materials ready. It's okay to take breaks. Like we tell them, get up, stretch, get a drink of water, because they're getting fatigues also. So there should be set or designated break times, just like they would have in school if they could only use the bathroom during passing time or something. Understand the expectations. A lot of our parents don't even understand what the teachers want. We're getting a variety of, I'll say, concerns within the same district. So within the Monmouth County District, Howell High School, Manalapan High School, Marlboro High School are all doing different things and all have different criteria. So some are not being taught at all. They're just being emailed assignments. So know what the teachers are expecting of them, know how to use their Google Classroom. If you don't, ask for help, because they're helping parents learn how to use these things. Know what type of learner they are. Are they more kinesthetic? Are they more auditory? So if you know the type of learner you're dealing with, you can also ask the school for some accommodations. We've actually sent things in the mail or had parents come to our center to physically pick up stuff so the child could have manipulatives in front of them if they're more kinesthetic. So a lot of people aren't thinking about that. A lot of kids can't just sit and be lectured at for hours a day. A checklist. Some of us are using a checklist. So, okay, I had this class in the morning, that's done. Did I then do that assignment? Did I hand it in? The next big obstacle we're finding is the kids that are supposed to be independent. They're doing the assignments, they're doing the work, but they're forgetting to hand it in and they're just getting zeros. So again, we want to make sure that they have processes and they're following these while they're at home. 2 examples I'll give you just happened yesterday, actually. I had 2 freshman parents come to me. I won't say the school, but they both came to me. Both kids had complete zeros. One, they put it in as 50s. The other one, they put it in as zeros. These children had not been online yet, didn't understand what was going on, didn't know what to do. So what they're doing is they're just shutting down. So the school, it took them till February to realize this child hadn't even been to a class yet. So it's very concerning what's going on out there. And we provide resources. We have kids that come in because mom and dad have to go to work. They come in at 8 a.m. They log on their class and we're there just as like a paraprofessional in the room. Do you need help? Do you know what you're doing? Do you need that re-explained? Then when they're done with their school day at about 1:30, most of them are done. We then can provide homework help. We can provide academic advising. So there's a lot of different services that we're using during these times to support. And we try to bring our price line down to be competitive and support. So for example, some people are sending their kids, it's $10 an hour for them to come stay with us. So they'd be paying a high school babysitter the same thing, but at least they have licensed certified professionals there to assist them if they need it. So like I said, the biggest things to take away from this are have a schedule, keep them on task. Some kids need timers, so even, set a timer on their watch or their phone to say, okay, in 20 minutes, you're going to transition to this. So like I said, this webinar gives you a lot. You can go back and look at that. Feel free to ask me questions. And like I said, I will share the list of all the webinars we've done so far. And we're going to continue in these trying times we do lunch and learns, apparently, like I found out you guys do. So at least once a month, we're doing a lunch and learn. And going forward, I'm going to share all those topics with all of you. So that's pretty much all I have for you today. I'm open to questions if anyone has questions or concerns or anything about remote learning.
Any questions?
No
I just
questions,
actually-
but I would like to give a shout out. My kids went to Huntington Learning Center in Manalapan for both their SATs and ACTs. Awesome. They got really awesome scores from there. So really
Thank you for that shout out. I greatly appreciate it. That's actually one of my favorite lines of the business, I'll say, when these kids call up and say, I got a 32 on my ACT, I got these college offers. That's probably the most exciting part of my job besides seeing a little one learn how to read for the first time. So thank you for saying that. And it really is. It's very exciting.
Excellent. Thank you, Mitali. I heard someone else start to talk. Bonnie?
This has to be a shout out to LeeAnn too. I have a granddaughter, a freshman, and she's at the Middletown facility, and she's there 4 hours a week. And we're seeing a vast improvement because it just wasn't working totally at home. She needed the help.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm glad to see that she's improving. I always say they've been doing this since 1977. They know what they're doing. I always say, like, if you follow the program, it works. And my own child, like you said, he was an autistic boy, and I sent him to Huntington, and he ended up going to college, on academic honors. So I say it works.
Nice. Excellent. Anybody else?
No, this is just Erika. I have a high school senior and an 8th grader at home. And everything that LeeAnn had said about the challenges, and there's really going to be a gap for these students in a lot of different ways. They're looking at the computer all day. They're not getting at the interaction. And so both educational and emotional and mental, it's affecting these kids. So if anybody is has relatives or kids, try to get that one-on-one, have conversations with them, and really get them engaged, because they are just so focused like this, because that's what they see all day, that they're losing that ability to see the other things that are around them.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And that's why it's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any other questions? Any other ideas? Any other things we want to share on this topic?
This is Chris-Ann.
Good morning,
This is
Chris-Ann.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Chris-Ann.
Good morning. Hi there, everyone. LeeAnn, I just have a question with regard to the people that you have instructing. What keeps you motivated? Is it the results of the children? Because I know I'm hearing from different people that it's been a strain on teachers and parents, and that would also include your instructors, and yet you're getting good results. Are you rotating people? How is that working?
It's funny you say that, because number one, all of our staff, they have to be a certified teacher, in order to work for us. So I'll say before COVID times, most of our staff would come like at 3 o'clock, as soon as they end their school day, they come to us and they pick up a few extra hours. And honestly, most of the teachers that are with us have been with us 11 years, 20 years, 25 years. I have retired principals, retired teachers. They come to Huntington for that supplemental money, whether it's because they need it, but they all love their jobs. So they literally don't have to write lesson plans. They don't have to grade papers. They don't have to deal with parents. So all those things they're doing on a normal day. And especially right now, I've always said, like, when I'm hiring a teacher and I'm interviewing them, I'm going to say the best part of your job is you walk in and you do what you love to do one-on-one with a child, and you leave. You're not dealing with anything else. And that's honestly and exactly what you just said, the results. I can't tell you, like, I'll be at home on a Friday night when one of my kids will call me, or the parent, to say, hey, she just got this offer at this college. I'm texting my teachers and calling my teachers at all times of day or night, because that's honestly what keeps them going, seeing these results and loving what they do.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for that explanation.
You're welcome. It's definitely not the money. No, I don't know any teachers that are rich.
That's awesome. All teachers, they really are givers. They're selfless. They have big hearts, and that's why they do what they do. Yeah, for sure. Anything else? All right, so LeeAnn and I were talking yesterday, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a lunch and learn for chamber members to attend together. And it's going to be in March. We're going to pick a day in March for that. And LeeAnn, the topic that we were going to do, you want to share that with them?
We're going to offer ACT versus SAT. Like I touched upon when I started, I'm finding and talking to parents, guidance counselors, everybody thinks they're just optional now. Yes, that is an option, but there's reasons why it should not be optional and how to best help your child or children that you know. So I'll explain the differences between the two tests, what schools are looking for in these challenging times, and a Q&A also.
Excellent. I am so looking forward to that. It is probably a question that's on parents' minds, and I like the fact that you're going to be able to help them with that. So thank you for offering that to us. I love when we can get the chamber members together in one group and do something like that together. So was there the other topics you wanted to share with them as well, you had mentioned?
Yeah, so some of the topics that I have right now would be helping a homework survival guide for parents, study skills for high school and college age students, 16 tips to help your child get a great report card, ADHD, summer learning, making the move to middle school. Like I said, those transitions are big ones. So the transition into middle school, 5 to 6, and the transition from 8 to 9.
Terrific.
And I will have more. That's all I have for now.
That's terrific. So those lunch and learns you're doing once a month through the center on Zoom right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But any chamber members, if you guys want us to do it as a chamber, we don't have to wait for Huntington to do it some month in the future. We can create our own lunch and learn with one of those topics. If we have a nice group that wants to find the information out, we can always ask for a special lunch and learn for members to have LeeAnn come in and do that for us. I'm sure you'd be more than happy to do that.
Absolutely.
Excellent. All right, so I just want to share my screen one more time and give you LeeAnn's contact information. And this way you know how to reach her. Okay, there is another page on here. Why isn't it? There it is. So this is LeeAnn's contact information. If you want to reach her directly to do anything directly with Huntington, this is how you can reach her. She works out of the Manalapan Center, but they also have a center in East Brunswick. And there's the website. You can write down that information if you want to go to their website to check things out there.
And again, I forgot to mention, so if anybody from the chamber, or if you're sending, like I said, a relative in your family, just let me know that's from the chamber, because I am going to work out discounted pricing for everyone.
Beautiful. We appreciate that very much. Okay. And also, LeeAnn, if you can type your information in the chat so that people that might come on late, they can find it and make sure they.
I would love to do that for you, except for I could not use my laptop this morning. I'm on my phone and I don't know how to do it. So
oh, okay.
I admit my faults.
No worries. No worries. So if there's no other questions, then we will wrap up this section of the perk and we will continue on. Thank you so much.